Got that sunshine on my face. I reboot and ride.
I know I didn't take a video of it, but the Paragon 7 Pro jacket that I have on, it still has the thermal liner in it. It's probably over 60 by now, but I have all the vents open on the front. Lets very good airflow. As you can see on the arms, there's even probably, you can see on my jacket that there's a lot of good airflow coming on. But this thing, I did a lot of research, and I know I brought up, excuse me, I brought up Google Gemini, as a joke, helping me out with the theme music and whatnot. But being in the tech field, it has its advantages, of course. I mean, I know AI is good for everyone, but I'm a huge Android guy, so using Google Gemini, I use them or her a ton when I was looking for winter jackets, winter gear, try to be as comfortable as possible. And, I would just throw any gear that I found that was on sale, even like the most expensive gear, anything that I could possibly think of, I would throw at her just to compare and contrast and see what was the best fit for like my need. Like my needs might not be the same as your needs. Like right now, the one of the selling points for the Paragon 7 was they have this throat coat that goes over the top of the jacket around your neck. And, the throat coat in the mornings of Pennsylvania, especially, when you can go through all four seasons of Pennsylvania in one day. I mean, last week, uh, it was like 30 degrees. No, I'm sorry. It was 23 degrees when I left the house on the B Star. When I got to work, it was 50 degrees. Then it started to rain in the afternoon, and then the temperatures dropped by the time that I got back over the mountain from work. The temperature dropped so much that it started snowing. So, like right there, you got 100% of the meteorologists going, "Yeah, it's Pennsylvania. Just throw a dart at the weather today and see whatever you stick, because you never know." But the reason I say that is because like the RST Paragon, like I could take out this thermal liner if I wanted to on the way home here and be completely almost like a spring jacket. Uh, I don't feel like messing with the thermal liner, taking it out right now. But the bending on it, it's perfect for my needs because there's still a little chill in the air, but the sweat that I do have right now with my base layer and the wind that's coming in through the vents is really, giving me a nice comfort. That's the second one I saw today. I think the first one, the battery died on the action camera, so it did pick that one up. So technically, that's the first one that we saw today, fellow rider. But no, you know, with the gear, like I said, my gear, I needed it to be very versatile for the weather that I end up running into 9 times out of 10. Like the laminate that's on the jacket for the Paragon 7, the waterproof is laminate, so it won't seep in the rain. It'll repel the rain if I get caught in a torrential rainstorm. So it won't add the extra bulk. It won't add the extra uh, heaviness that you sometimes get with a jacket like this. I really don't like carrying extra rain gear. I try and pack as light as possible. Uh, I mean, my Daytona boots are rock stars with being waterproof, and I always try and pick, if I do have any gear, I try and pick the waterproof as much as possible just so I can use it for multiple occasions should I, encounter rain or anything crazy going out there. But yeah, the only gripe that I really have with this jacket, and I've had it for about a month now. Um, and I put it through its paces through going back and forth to work. And I have an hour and 10 minute one way commute, so 2.5 hours every day on the bike. It's you get a good understanding of what gear you have and if it's going to meet your needs right away or not. I mean, I went through a lot of gear over my years of motorcycling, and to a fault, I try and be as cheap as possible. We have a family of five, um, actually 5 kids, family of seven, including my wife and I. So I mean, we uh, we try and make our dollars stretch as much as possible when it comes to groceries or anything we do for the kids. But you know, when it's something for the bike or something, I try and make it stretch. And even before I met my wife, like I'd be that guy that would get the cheapest gear possible. Uh, hopefully it lasts. Maybe I got a good deal. Um, but more often than not, I end up having it fall apart on me after a season or two, or, the gloves that I did buy weren't the best. Or didn't say that they were gonna, you know, do what they said that they were. And it just came to a point where it's like I rather invest, buy it right one time. That way you don't have to buy it again the next. Like that's why I guess it really started with my boots. I was tired of just riding um, in my cowboy boots or, Converse. And I wanted to be as safe as possible. I was tired of always being caught in the rain and having, a soggy foot and just being miserable. Cause, like if your feet are just disgusting, you get that feeling and then you aren't happy. But, so like I started with the boots and then like, I think a couple of months later or something, my wife got me my, Arai helmet that I've always wanted, the Oriental theme with the great wave on the side and the koi fish on the back. I'll put a picture up here for you of it. And then after that, I, just kept building and building and building upon that. Like last year, I was doing a bunch of research on gloves, and that's how I ended up on the Rika brand. Uh, and, I am a customer for life now just because of the way that their quality of product. I like how they fit. I like the brand. The customer service that I've had with them has been phenomenal, and just the way that they treat riders. Um, and I'm not trying to plug them. I'm not trying to like. I'm not sponsored or anything, but when there's good products, I want other people to know what good products are out there. They might not be the cheapest, but they definitely aren't the most expensive, but they're a good, solid quality product for riders like me who, aren't pro level, but also aren't novices, but do put a lot of miles on their gear every year and they want it to last multiple seasons. So, that's just something to keep in mind whenever you are watching YouTube videos out there. And like uh, another one that I watch all the time is Ryan, for Fortnite. He puts gear through its faces. And, I remember the one video I think he just posted a couple of weeks ago was how his boss wants him to promote, a different helmet, but he had worn the same helmet for years. So like why would he want to, promote something that he doesn't believe in, and that's sort of like how I am. Like if I believe in a product, I'm going to stick behind it, and I'm going to make sure people know that the quality is there. So if you don't watch Fortnine's videos for the reviews or just their daily content, it's you know top notch, and like they're I feel bad. I know I left them out of the first video with the shout outs, but I'll make it up on this one with a shout out to Ryan 49, and thanks for the tongue in cheek humor that you provide, because it's much appreciated with this guy.
Let's reboot and ride.